Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hi.
Hi.
Long time no see.
Yes, yes. Hi, everybody.
Hi,
Hi,
Tom.
Henry.
Hi, Elaine. Hi, everybody
Hello.
else.
Tom.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Almost everybody. Rita is unable to make it this evening, but we have a quorum. So I think we should get started. I'm going to call this meeting of the Community Preservation Committee to order. It is 7:01. This meeting is being recorded and all members are participating remotely. All right. The first item on our agenda is election of a chair and a secretary or clerk for taking the minutes. Those positions were previously occupied by myself and by Elaine.
I nominate Mateo for chair.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll put it to a vote. Leo,
Aye.
Reed,
Aye.
Eddies,
Aye.
Seifert,
Hi, thanks for being willing to do it.
Khan,
Aye.
and Pengallo. Aye. Let the power go to my head. Um, Entertain a motion for a secretary or clerk. Yes, not sure the term that
I I nominate Elaine.
I'll second.
Thank-
All right. Any discussion? Elaine, do you want to make a statement in your candidate in support of your candidacy? Put it to a
I
vote.
could take minutes while I'm talking.
Um, Reed,
Aye.
Geddes,
Aye.
Seifert,
Aye.
Khan,
Aye.
Leo,
Aye.
and I am an I. All right.
For
For an
doing that.
aye.
The motion is approved unanimously. Move on to the next item on our agenda, which is the vote on the minutes of May 21st, 2026, which was the last time we met. This was the final meeting of our previous award cycle to vote on the CPA grant agreements. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
I motion we approve the minutes of our meeting on May 21st, 2026.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. Any discussion? Okay. Seeing none, we'll proceed to a vote. Reed,
Aye.
Geddes,
I wasn't there. I'll abstain.
Seifert,
I did read them, but I'm going to abstain too, just because I wasn't there.
Khan,
I wasn't there, but I'll say aye.
Leo,
Aye.
and I am an I, a yellow I. All right, the minutes are approved. Rolling along here. Public comment. There are no members of the public present. I'm going to be adding this item to some of our agendas, not all of them, because I think it would be useful to get the opportunity to hear from some members of the public about potential CPA projects as they come up, as opposed to sort of only giving them the opportunity at town meeting. Sometimes it might be useful if there are people who have expertise about particular subjects, especially if we want to ask them to come, but also just so members of the public can comment if they want. But there are no members of the public present, so we'll proceed to our next item on the agenda. Comments from the chair. Welcome everybody. And I wanted to start off by giving some thanks and some specific welcomes. Thanks and farewell to our Conservation Commission representative, Beth Wilson, who served on the committee for 2 years, during which we launched several major conservation and open space CPA projects. And I would like to welcome our new Conservation Commission representative, Scott Kahn, who brings a wealth of professional expertise in conservation area management, wetland science, wildlife management, all kinds of stuff. Very happy to have you, Scott.
Great to be here. Thank you. Great to meet all of you. Actually, I know all of you, so
Mhm.
good to see you.
We also said farewell at the end of this past fiscal year to Alan Hansen, who served on the select boards, served as the select board's Board of Park Commissioners designee, which is quite the mouthful. He was on the committee for 15 years, including 5 years as chair. And during that time, the town issued over a dozen new CPA grants worth tens of thousands in funding and millions more in matching funding. With Alan's departure, we did some puzzle piece shifting around of seats. So taking over the seat of Board of Parks Commissioners designee is Cliff Reed, our former planning board designee. Welcome back, Cliff. Cliff brings his own professional
Thanks.
expertise from a career serving as a supervisor of interpretive services. Is that the correct title?
Correct.
At the Quabbin Reservoir. Nice. The public face of the visitor center. So Cliff's move to that seat opened up the planning board seat, and we are fortunate now that taking over the planning board seat on the committee is Tom Seifert, who has served as an associate member on the planning board for a number of years, now is an elected member of the planning board, as well as on the Lake Wyola Advisory Committee, the Lake Wyola Boating and Safety Review Committee, and the Lake Wyola Stormwater Erosion Task Force. Welcome, Tom.
Thank you.
And welcome to everybody. So the couple other things I wanted to take care of. I just wanted to make sure that we were all sort of familiar with the 2027 schedule, which was approved at our last meeting in May. It largely follows the pattern of what we have done in the past, which is sort of starting off with the public hearing to update the community preservation plan, and then moving into the determination of eligibility phase with a December 10th deadline for the determination of eligibility. And this is just sort of a way to spare people from preparing a full grant application if their project wouldn't actually even technically qualify. So that's why a lot of towns have the sort of first phase of the process. And then the deadline for full applications would be February 4th. Following that, we would meet to discuss and vote on the applications and then on the articles for any awards that we are suggesting to town meeting. And if you haven't yet looked at that calendar, please do take a look at it. Any questions or concerns about it?
Nope.
No.
All right. The last thing that I would like to do in under comments from the chair will be talk a little bit about completed CPA projects that have funds remaining. And this has been a little hard to do because the expenditure ledger that gets posted to the town website by the town accountant, Gail usually updates it, I think it's like every couple weeks or something. She's still in the process of closing out last year's fiscal year accounts and like physically, or I guess digitally transferring the numbers into the new ones. And some are done and some are not done. And unfortunately, the CPA categories are not done. So I have two different sets of numbers. One that I pulled like a month ago that shows a lot of projects that still have money in them. And then I have another one that I pulled just like a week or two ago, and it has far fewer projects, a number missing that we know actually have not actually spent the money yet. So I think we're in the midst of a strange sort of computer updating or moving the numbers from one fiscal year to another. That said, there are a few projects that I'm pretty sure still have funds in them. There's the Top of the Lake invasive plant management, which seems to have a substantial amount of its award remaining, if the original report is correct. I don't know to what extent that work is complete. Penny is going to give me an update in September before our next meeting, hopefully, so that we have a sense of where that work stands. if the work is done and they don't need the funds anymore, then that's one of the ones that we can introduce a article to return the funds to the open space conservation account. If the work isn't done, they still do have, I think, 2 more years to use it. So it's not like they're, up against the end of that grant. The other one that popped up in the first report, but is not in the second one, is that West Quabbin Woodlands property, that new conservation area. I'm assuming the money, because it's not in the new report, is all gone. Scott, do you know if there's any other work to be done there?
I mean, I don't know if there's more work that's covered under the original proposal. There's more work to be done on the property signage and trail work. We've done a parking area and we acquired the land, but I'm not sure what the flexibility of the grant, if it would allow for signage. I think you looked at that, Matteo, if I understood that correctly, that it wasn't described in the original grant, so it's questionable whether or not that could be work that could be completed.
Yeah, I think it might need to be a new grant. This happened with another project. I forget which one, last year or the year before, where this weird, like, we're going to close the grant that the previous grant that still had funds in it. And then we had to apply for funds again, or somebody applied for funds again for the same kind of project. I forget which project it was, but this might be that scenario. I don't know if the money is there or not because of this gap of information in the expenditure ledger. Tom?
Thanks. Just to help me out, please. Can someone describe a little bit where this West Quabbin Woodlands purchase is, if there is an easy way to describe it? I don't know if I know it or not.
I believe it's R15, I think, was the number.
Oh,
Right, Scott? I think that was it. It's the one, it's on Pelham Hill Road, pretty much almost right on the line, on the town line, I think.
okay. I didn't know. I thought that had Amethyst Brook attached to its name. I didn't know it was called West Quabbin. I know exactly where you mean. Thank you.
Yeah, it's just
Right.
south of Baker Road.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah,
That's right.
yeah. I didn't think of it as West Quabbin myself. I didn't know that.
All right. Hopefully I'll have some more information about these. I mean, fortunately, we don't have to really do anything about if they do have funds available and the project is done. We don't have to really act. We can't do anything until town meeting anyway, because it's town meeting that has to vote to return the funds to the CPA accounts. The third one that appeared in the first ledger that I pulled, but is no longer in the second, is the Rehabilitate West Cemetery Hearse House, which I'm pretty sure is complete. So if there are any funds left in that project, we should ask town meeting to return them to the historic resources account. If the project isn't complete, then we need to talk with the buildings committee about what else needs to be done. But I do know that it was recently repainted, I think, with the remaining funds, which is what they had asked for, because we didn't close it last year or the year before because they said they were going to use it for restaining. All right. Yes, Tom.
Sorry. In terms of what completion means, is it the case that sometimes the grantee will just report that it's completed, or do you always just wait for the 3 years to run out? Or can it be either?
It can be either one. The 3-year thing is kind of it's new. It began when we started instituting the use of the grant agreements. They essentially the contracts between the town and the whoever's being awarded the grant. And it's in that we stipulate the 3-year use. And I think this year I think we started using them 3 years ago. So this would be the first year that the clock officially ends on any of the old ones.
Okay, thank you.
But generally, we just try, as a committee, we just try to, it's a housekeeping thing too. Like, we don't want the money just sitting in an account, not doing anything. We'd like it to go, if the project is done, we want it to go back into the CPA accounts so other grants can use it.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll have a little more information about these other outstanding projects as the year rolls on, so we can think about bringing that up at town meeting. All right. So what I'd like to do is the next item on the agenda is updates on current open CPA projects. So these are ones that, I know are awarded and out there in process. I'll start off with the guide board situation. We still have the guide board concrete foundation. And I know there have been some other things with the guide board. I don't know, Henry, if you want to brief the committee a bit about what's going on there.
Yeah, it came back, as you all know. And it's been over a month now, it's been out there. The buildings committee, led by Stephen Dalmas, took a look at it, reviewed it, and had some issues with the roofing. Not that these are fatal issues, but that, in the interest of really long-term durability, it would make sense to question the roofing with those who renovated it. Largely because not keeping to the letter of what's called the reference manual for red cedar shingling. So this is in process now. We've been in contact with the renovator about what they're going to do in light of the evaluation. Whether they're going to give us some kind of compensation, or whether they're going to redo it. In which, if it's compensation, we've been in touch with some local folks who might do it. Specifically, Bob Grove's name has been identified. Aside from that, the buildings committee has done a couple things with the guide board. One is they've elevated it, putting a panel that runs at the base, so it's not touching the ground. And they've also added a screen that keeps animals out. They are on the fence about actually doing the cement base, the cement foundation. It's a complicated affair, apparently. And the final decision on that foundation is unresolved at this point, largely because of their evaluation at the moment that in the interim, this the modifications I just described are adequate, and there have been some differences of opinion on it. Of course, the wood scientists, in this case, Steve Smolsky, has chimed in and pointed out that, we really do need that cement foundation. He advocated for it initially, and he still advocates for it. So he's in touch with the buildings committee. I'm in touch with the buildings committee. This should be resolved in the coming weeks. I don't know if I've confused everybody. But, this is sort of one of those things. I have not heard back from the renovators. It's been over a month. Not a good sign, but, apparently the person who actually who was in charge of the actual project was on vacation, so there might have been some kind of hitch there. So I'll have more to report as time goes on.
Great. Well, thank you. Sorry for all the problems with it. It's been a journey.
It has been. Bringing that thing back from Williamstown was one odyssey, I'll tell you. Getting it back in a U-Haul truck without, you know, uh, doing any damage to it, just getting it on the truck itself. But we managed to do it. So I don't look forward to taking it back there and bringing it back. I suspect we're going to do the job here, and hopefully they'll compensate us for the glitch on the roofing.
Yeah. All right. Well, keep us updated.
Hmm.
All right. Other open projects. Southbrook Lake Wyola Trails repair. Scott?
Yeah, well, we've certainly had an adventure getting here with contracting issues and trying to get the contract awarded, which we successfully did. And thanks to Mateo and others for their help getting the project rebid. It was awarded to Terramore, who had done some other projects around town and elsewhere. We've met. In fact, we're scheduled to meet with Terramore coming up next week to go through the project. We've done some of the wetland delineations. This project is to help with revamping some of the trails on Southbrook Conservation Area, which kind of runs between Locks Pond Road and Wendell Road here. So still in the beginning, it's a design build project. We still have to get the design back from Terramore to begin the work. There are some kind of no regret actions in terms of some of the work in the upland areas that the contractors already started laying out and doing some of that. So it's moving along. I don't know kind of like an estimate for when the project will be completed and the funds expended. I was hoping that would happen this year. I guess we're going to have to wait until we get the design plan and the NOI and go through and with all the regulatory permitting side of it, and then see where they're at in terms of whether they can get it done this fall or not. But it's an exciting project.
I have a question for you, Scott.
Yeah,
Two things. Terramore, how do you spell Terramore?
So Terramore.
There's no E on the end.
Terramore.
There's no E on the end.
No E at the end?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're the designer? Okay.
It's a design build contract, so they're doing the design of
Okay.
of the trail work, and they're also building it.
Thank you.
You bet.
And the bid came in under the grant amount, which is nice. That's always good.
Yeah. We'll wait and see to see all the change orders.
Yeah. All right. Lake Wyola Dam repair. This isn't really an open project, but you might remember we awarded a grant or town meeting awarded a CPA grant to LWAC for what was phase one of a two-phase dam repair project. The phase one was the planning and scope of work development, and then phase two would be the actual work. This is separate from the emergency repairs that were done this past winter. I did reach out to Haley about whether there was going to be any movement for that second grant. Some of you might remember the CPA funds are actually they're basically matching money so that the town can compete for a much larger state grant. And I know that the town did just get a state grant for the dam, but there was never any application submitted for more CPA money. So maybe they don't need us, but that's where things stand. At least as far as I know. Elliott Park Structures, Kat Hilton sent me an email to report on it. Noting that the sort of preliminary work on the shed has been done. And then the actual work is sort of awaiting the schedule of the buildings committee. The gazebo, she's working to hoping to start work on that, beginning with a power washing to get off the damaged paint and the graffiti and all of that before they start doing repairs. No indication from her about when that was going to happen, though. I know that she has reached out to the Concom about making sure that all that work is permissible. South Brook Conservation Area expansion. Scott, do you know anything about this? I'm pretty sure I saw a surveyor walking around by my house, so I'm assuming something's happening.
Yeah, I don't have the latest. I think folks from Kestrel have been in touch with Beth, but my understanding is that they're looking to sell the portion that Kestrel had bought from Footits that there's a portion of that land that runs between Wendell Road and Locks Pond Road. And that acreage, which is a little confusing because I think it's always described as 9 acres, but I think it's like 20 something that's there. That would be part of the land that would be purchased with this funding, minus a small, I think, area that I think Rio was looking at for community housing. So I don't have a timeline. I think they want to get that done yet soon, sometime this calendar year. I'm not sure what the timing is to have that completed.
Do you anticipate that there might be a request for a grant to extend some of the Southbrook trails onto that new parcel at some point?
I don't think so. I mean, there are trails on that parcel. The funding that we received, it did come under, as you pointed out, but I also think that there are some additions and things that the contractor is looking at that may be presented to the Concom to do work on the existing trail system that may fall within the grant funding. So I'm not sure. I guess that's my way of saying I'm not sure there's going to be funding available to do, trail work on this new piece that hasn't yet been purchased by the town.
Yeah. But potentially in the future.
In the future, I mean, it's all connected, and there are trails that go through there that people have been using for a long time. So it's I imagine people will continue to use them, and more people will as the main part of Southbrook comes online, and then we could proceed with additional grant funding, as you said. So that would be good. Future project.
Tom?
Scott, or can you help me with the chain of ownership? Like who owns it now and who sold it to them? And is it going to be sold to Kestrel or the town in the end?
I think Kestrel's bought it. I think it was owned by
from the Footits. Okay. And will Kestrel retain it, or will it become town land at one point?
I think Kestrel, they bought several parcels from the Footits. This one parcel we're talking about, I think they were looking to sell that to the town.
Awesome. Okay. I thought that's the case, but thank you for confirming it.
Yeah.
It's the same process that the West Calvin Woodlands went through, right? That Kestrel bought it and then we bought it from them.
Got it.
This one is more expensive though because it has it's buildable. It has that housing lot portion on it. All right. And the last of the projects is the Regional Affordable Housing Coordinator. So Rita and I are going to be meeting with Mariah Kurtz from FERCOG, who will be the housing coordinator for us to start this process. We're going to be meeting in the next couple of weeks. And I think the first tasks are going to be to kind of figure out what the coordinator's priorities should be. One of the things that we've sort of put on her radar is we've put together a list of town-owned property and tried to identify which parcels are buildable. Very few of them are. Most of the town-owned property are little bits of land that have no frontage whatsoever. But there is one parcel on Pelham Hill Road that is conceivably buildable, particularly with sort of recent changes to Chapter 48 to the zoning law, the state zoning law, would make it possible to have a house on it. So we're going to talk with Mariah about maybe looking into how that might work as one of her first tasks. Yeah, I think that's it for the open projects. Am I forgetting anything? All right.
Just wasn't there a cemetery project that was
completed. Yeah,
that's completed? Okay.
yeah, it was like phase 4 of the West Cemetery
Oh,
restoration. And they did send us, I'm pretty sure they sent us that report that has the sort of before and after photos and pretty detailed explanation of the work they did. All right. In that case, we'll move on to the item 6 on the agenda, discussion of updating the community preservation plan. So this is part of the sort of requirement of the CPA statute that we revisit the plan every year and see if there are any changes that we want to make as a committee. And then we also hear from the community if there are any changes that they would like to make. I have gone through it and made rounds of some small corrections to typos and stuff, adding some more information, updating some of the statistics and data. And also one of the things we discussed last year was being more transparent in the plan as well as in the grant application and the DOE form about how much money we have in each account, as an effort to sort of give potential applicants a sense of what is or isn't a reasonable ask in terms of amounts of money. So we're going to be including that as well. Gail did give me some estimates for what's in there for FY27. Obviously the budgeted reserve is the same, 35,000. That's what it always is. Open space recreation is going to be about 18,000. Historic resources will be about 33,000. Housing will be about 50,000. And then we've got 340,000 roughly in the undesignated fund for any project. So we'll be, once we have those precise numbers, we'll put them into the plan and the applications so people can see, what's actually there.
You'll get those numbers.
Yeah.
Could you send those to me so I could put them in the minutes?
Yes, I will send them to you right after the meeting.
Thank you.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send everybody in the committee my document with the marked up revisions for the plan. And, I welcome you to respond back just to me with the same document incorporating your revisions if you have anything that you'd like to change, including any of the revisions that I've made if you disagree with any of them. And then what I'll do is I'll try to just fold everybody's together into one document that we can then deliberate on as a whole committee and go through. And we'll do that. We're going to do that after our next meeting because the next meeting is the public hearing. And we're supposed to obviously collect public comments before we vote on any revisions to the plan.
Matteo, I assume you would like to have track changes on that so you can see easily what comments, changes have been proposed by committee members.
Yes, please do use track changes or highlight it or put it in red or something that allows me to easily see what changes you made.
Mm-hmm.
So will the public hearing be based on the existing document, not on anything that we're revising yet?
That's correct.
Okay.
But basically, if you look at the FY26 community preservation plan, what would you change? What would you add? What would you take out? And then we consider that at our next meeting after the hearing. And on that subject of the hearing, I guess
FaceTime video.
Sorry. Sorry. The last thing to do is to formally vote on scheduling the public hearing for our September 24th meeting, September 24th at 7 p.m. So is there a motion to schedule our public hearing for September 24th, 7 p.m.?
So move.
A second.
Any discussion?
Is this a type of public hearing that goes in the newspaper and all of that?
Yeah, we do have to,
Business? Okay.
Yeah. we have to notice it. It's one of the things that we have the operating funds for.
Oh, okay. I get it.
Okay. Yep.
And who does that work?
I'll send it out.
Oh, okay.
Scott, just as a heads up, there is a Concom meeting that night. So you'll miss the excitement of the hearing. I assume you'll be at the Concom meeting. If there's no further discussion, we'll put it to a vote. You guys have all shifted around on my screen. Seifert,
Aye.
Reed,
Aye.
Geddes,
Aye.
Khan,
Aye.
Palaio,
Aye.
and Pangallo is an aye. All right. Is there any unanticipated business, I should say, last item on the agenda? No.
Oh, got a hand there.
Mary Lou, did you have a question?
Hi, Mary Lou Conk. I have a question for you all. I wonder how much this organization is going to be involved with the newest gig happening in Shrewsbury, the beautification of the town common. And I apologize if I didn't hear your discussion. I was eating earlier. My main question is who or what organization or what group of people who are behind the idea of doing anything more in the town common than keeping the grass mowed? I'm very curious about that. Thank you.
Yeah. This is a great question because it kind of also ties into this. We always like to kind of try to prognosticate about what kind of grants we have coming our way each year, or how many. The town administrator Haley has indicated in her emails, the Friday Five and such, that the idea for the Town Common Beautification Committee is to apply for a CPA grant for whatever it is they decide to do. So presumably, if that is the route that committee decides to go for funding, we would be getting a grant application from them at some point. As far as who's behind the beautification committee, the emails indicate that it was the town administrator who's been trying to put this together, but the CPC certainly has not. We don't apply for grants. We decide who we recommend gets grants to town meeting.
Okay, can I talk again, Matteo?
Certainly.
Who initiated the idea? I mean, I find it so curious.
Unfortunately, I don't know, and I don't know that anybody in this committee knows. It seems like it would be a question for the town administrator. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
I was wondering the same thing.
Yeah.
It seemed to come out of the blue.
All right. If there is no other unanticipated business, 7:40, 40 minutes. This is one of our longer CPC meetings.
For real.
Oh, yeah.
Got myself on a good committee.
All right. I will Mary Lou, did you have another question?
I'm sorry. I was fooling around with the stuff. I'm sorry. No.
Oh, okay. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Seconded.
Any discussion? All right. Seeing none, we'll put it to a vote. Reed,
Aye.
Geddes,
Aye.
Khan,
Aye.
Palaio,
Aye.
Seifert,
Aye.
Pangallo is an aye. That's it. We are adjourned. 7:39 p.m. Thanks, everybody. Take care.
Thanks,
Good night.
Mateo. Aye.
Aye.